today's video, we're going to make a get well soon soup from the Coup card. Hi, I'm Stacy. I hope you enjoy and are inspired to create. First, let's go over the supplies and then we'll get into the card making. I'm going to be using this stamp set called Cluckin Cute Kitchen. It's part of the box of the month for February. And then we're also going to be using one of the paper pad sets from the box of the month called Fresh from the Coup. These just go really well together. I'm going to go ahead and stamp out one of the images, the one there that has the bowl of soup, because we're going to be making a get well card. I'm going to be stamping it out in some soft pink peach ink on some Express It blending cardstock, and I'm going to be coloring it with Copic markers and Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. So we're going to be doing some no line coloring here. And what I do is I go in and I'm going to go in with my darkest colors first to map out my shadows. That way they don't get lost, because when you do no line coloring, if you just go in and start coloring with your lightest color and don't map out your shadows, those lines get covered up and then it kind of looks like a blob. So always just go in with your darkest shade first in each area and add some of that shading, and then work on out to the light colors. And when I got this stamp set in part of the design team package, this was my favorite. I was so excited to color up these little chicks. And I love the strawberry set, and I love everything that came in the box, but these are just so adorable. And so originally I was just going to color this one up like a white chicken with some spotting on it. I don't know what those chickens are called, but typically they have like black spots or gray spots all over them. But I chickened out, pun intended. So if you want to try that with your chicken, or if you want to color them brown or gray or orange or yellow or pink or blue, it's the same concept, just going with your darkest and your lightest. And I try to keep these two colors that went well with the pattern paper. So when I chose the pink, I believe that there's some pink colors in the pattern paper that I'm trying to pick up on. And I think, did I use some blue in this one too? No, yellow. I tried to pull the yellow out of it too. So if you saw my other card that was on my channel for the hop, I used the same colors that I did in that card, and I really liked them. I thought they went well with the pattern paper, so I just continued over to this image here. And we're going in and I see those lines. I'm wanting to put in the pleats so that it has some texture and some shading, and that it looks like fabric. So that's where I'm choosing to add my shadows. And I'm trying to keep all the shadows also to the left. Now I know when I posted my other video for the hop, I had some comments that some of you have tried no line coloring, and I mentioned in that video, just like this one, if you don't map out the shadows first and you go in with your lightest, you lose those lines, and then it sometimes looks like a blob. Well, when we get to the end of this image, before we bring the colored pencils in, I want you guys to look and see, because it made my heart sad that there's others that said they tried it and that it didn't come out well. And I really think that part of it is you can bring in colored pencils, and that's where the image comes to life. So if you've tried this before and you like the look of no line coloring, but yours didn't come out well, you tried it, didn't come out well, try the colored pencils. And you're going to see when we get to the colored pencil part that I believe I only bring in 3 colored pencils, and you don't have to bring in 3. You could just bring in a brown. You could use a graphite pencil and shade with that, but I bring in, I believe, a chocolate pencil, a sienna pencil, and then I actually brought in a gray, like a dark gray, and a black. And you don't need that many, but really I think that's kind of minimal. And the reason I brought the gray in is I wanted, because the chicken is white with the gray shading, so I wanted to use that, but I still go back in with a black colored pencil, but very sparingly. And when you come in with your colored pencils, You don't have to, don't put a lot of pressure. It's very light. The pressure I'm going with is so light. And I'm just going around and just defining some details. I'm not looking to color the image with it. I'm just looking to deepen the shadows and add a little bit of definition. So see where I'm just going into like the finger, you know, where the feathers that make the hand, the finger. It's just adding in a little bit of depth so those portions stand out. And it adds some separation between any areas, like, you know, there's no black lines there to create the separation. So that's where those colored pencils come in. And here's where I'm coming in with the black pencil, and it's not going everywhere. I'm really putting it down lightly. I'm not putting a lot of pressure, and just in the deepest shadows and maybe where I want a little more definition. And I haven't colored that bowl in yet because I was going to paper piece that to match the bowl that I die cut on the front, and I did that, but it's not included in this because I changed my mind and just wanted to color in the bowl. I didn't like the way it looked with the pattern paper because it was too similar in colors, so it was almost pointless. It really hid the pattern paper, so I just decided to color in the bowl yellow like I did the front of the apron. So here's where I'm coming in with this pencil. This is a chocolate colored Prismacolor Premier pencil. It's neat. I don't know the number, but it's called chocolate. And I'm just adding in those shadows. And it's going to go where the yellow is. It's going to go where the pink is. On the spoon there that I wanted to be a wooden spoon. On the feet, on the footstool. I don't believe I take it to the chicken in this one. But you could. And just because it's brown, you think, oh no, don't put the brown in there, but it does add different, it adds a different type of shadowing, almost more realistic. And I chose not to do it in these ones because I'm still experimenting with this no line. And I started it last month with the Paper Pad Club and the Stamp of the Month for January. And I liked it so much that I've just been on a kick. Well, like almost every image I stamp out now has been with this no line type of coloring, and it's probably what I'm going to stick with. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you can learn and maybe want to try it too. And here I am coming in with a little bit more of that black colored pencil and adding that in there. And here's where I come in and color the bowl with the soup. So we have chickens making soup. Is it chicken noodle soup? I told my husband, I go, you know, I could go a totally different way with this stamp set for my friends that have a dark sense of humor like I can. And have the chickens making chicken noodle soup. Do you guys have a sense of humor like that too? Or am I just, is it just me? Anyway, I thought it was cute. And then I add a little bit of that colored pencil to make it look like a swirl of soup in there. And the eyes, I could have chose to go back in and make them open, but I just went with what was already there. And I cut this bowl out with a die that I had in my set. And I cut it out of the pattern paper fresh from the Coup. I'm taking the same yellow markers that I used to color the apron on the chicken there. And I'm going to shade this in. And originally that little bowl that it was holding, I tried to paper piece it, but it was so small. After you added in all the shading, you couldn't see the pattern paper. So there you go. You could try it with a different pattern paper. That would be cute. So if you wanted to use a more bold pattern paper and then fussy cut the bowl out that the chicken's holding to match, you could. And I'm just trying to add where the rim would be, like shading on each side, just so it has a little bit more shape, so it fits more with the colored image. So it feels all cohesive instead of not having any shading just being on there, since the chicken is so detailed with the coloring. I'm even bringing in some of the colored pencils too. Same colored pencils, same markers. And then I just layered up some of the pattern paper on a dark blue cardstock to match the blue that was in the pattern paper. I thought that pattern paper with all the little chicks, or the chickens, is cute. And then I just die cut these letters from some paper to match. I'm going to make our own sentiment here. So you could print this out. I know that there's the Wonder die with the one and done sentiments on Jamie's website. A lot of you probably already have them, so maybe you have a get well. Maybe you have some dies that you can customize in your stash and use the one and done sentiments with it. So it's going to say soup from the coop. This could be egg drop soup, but that would be kind of morbid too, wouldn't it? I'm sorry. It's cute. It's still cute. I just fussy cut the chicken, putting it up on some foam. Use this stitch heart. I gotta put some Spectrum Noir on it. I gotta put some sparkles. I chose not to put the glassy accents because I wanted to keep that very soft feel from the no line coloring. So here's the front, and then I completed the inside, so it says soup from the coop. Get well soon, chick. And put some of the pattern paper in there and a little stitched heart, and you could write it on the other side if there wasn't enough room. So I hope you enjoyed. All the links for these products will be in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.